Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Grimroc coming back at you from the global server. At the request of my guildmates, I'm going to be doing a rune upgrade mechanics video. Alright, so let's just get into it. First things first, the quality of the rune comes into play when you're upgrading a rune. Gray runes, let's see if we have any here in the shop, are normal. They only have the substat, or excuse me, the main stat. They can have innate stats, which are the ones that don't go up, that are right below where accuracy would be. Let's see if we have another one in here. Nope, okay. Then you got magic runes. They have one substat already on there, and in this case it's speed. And then you have rare, which has two substats. This is a pretty crappy rune, don't worry about it. And then you have hero runes, which have three substats already on there. Again, this is a pretty crappy rune. And then you have legendary, which has four substats in it, and this is a really bad rune. So, in the case of rune upgrading, ideally, when you're purchasing runes from the shop, or you get them from dragons or giants, whatever the case may be, you want to get subs that are all percentage based, except for speed. Speed is the only one that you want that's flat, because obviously you can't get percentage speed as a substat. But any other flats are somewhat non-ideal. I mean, you can have okay runes with one flat on it, but ideally you want all percentage based stuff minus speed. So in this case, I have a slot 5 endure rune with the attack innate right there, 5%, resistance and speed. So let's just upgrade this a few times and see where this goes. This would ideally be used for a tank. So either one would be fine, speed or resistance. But let's just say, like, in the case of speed, let's just say it was like defense flat. And I was gambling for the resistance. I would have won right there because it hit resistance. So let's just take it up to 6 again. Or 6. And let's see where it goes. And it hit speed, which I'm not upset about. But, you know, for the cases of this, if it was defense, you know, then it's a gamble. You can go and see what stat comes out on +9. So just to bring this back a little bit, so in regards to purchasing runes, you don't really ever want to buy normal gray. You can buy the green ones in gamble because it has one substat, like in the case of this particular rune right here that I purchased today. It's a 6-star crit damage rage rune. I wasn't in possession of one of these earlier. It started with resistance on stat 1 earlier today, and it was green. So the first substat was resistance. So obviously on 3, it hit resistance. On 6, crit rate popped up. On 9, attack percentage popped up. And on +12, attack flat popped up. So, you know, it's not like the best rune. I would have preferred like defense percentage or something to that effect on where attack +20 came up. But it's decent. It's not like a horrible rune. Had it started off as a legendary rune, you know, obviously I would have wanted to hit, you know, crit rate or attack. You know, and subsequently, if it is a legend rune, because you have all the substats there already, you're just gambling. When you're upgrading it, you're hitting that +3. You're hoping that it would hit like crit rate or attack. Again, +6, you're hoping that it would hit that crit rate or attack. 12, same thing. You're just hoping because the stats are already there. So you're just increasing the statistics that are already evident on the rune. But in the case of lower level runes, like just say this one for example, on 3 you would hit crit rate or speed. or crit damage or speed. On 6, you would hit crit damage or speed. And then on +9, you would get a new substat because in this rare would turn into a hero rune. And then on +12, you would get another substat because it would turn into a legendary rune. So, you're looking for ideally legendary runes because the cards are on the table. You can see what substats are there. You basically know what you're getting into. Upgrading runes is always a gamble. You never know what you're going to get. Like, for example, I have this resist rune. I upgraded it +6, and this would have been used for a tank of some sort. I upgraded +3 and it hit crit damage. I gambled again, and it hit crit damage again on +6. I mean, I may have some use for this rune. I may not. I'm just going to hold on to it for now. I was hoping that it would hit HP percentage because, it would just make one of my tanks that much more formidable. So, to reiterate, Gray runes have no substats on them, or possibly an innate stat that's right below the main stat. Magic runes have one substat visible, and on 3, it's definitely going to hit that substat. On 6, you're going to get another substat. And it won't increase any of the statistics from there on out because you're just pulling. Like on 6, you'd get the new substat. On 9, you'd get a new substat. And on 12, you'd get a new substat. So pretty much, you're gambling for those substats because you don't know what they're going to be. They could be flat. They could be percentage-based. Obviously, you want percentage-based, again, to reiterate. Or excluding speed. Speed is the only flat one you really, really want. So yeah, I mean, and then, on a hero rune, or a rare rune rather, you have 2 substats right there. 3 is going to hit one of the, on +3 it's going to hit one of these, +6 it's going to hit one of these, but on +9 you're going to get that random substat, and on +12 you're going to get that random substat. Hero, again, see, you have 3 substats. It's going to hit one of these stats on 3, 6, and 9 upgrade, and then you get a new stat on 12. And then legendary is just, you get what you get, it's face value. It shows you the stats that are there already. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into regards to what you're purchasing or what you're being wary of purchasing here in the shop, or what you pick up from the runes from your farming. So yeah, I mean, everybody's looking for something with the perfect subs on it. But when you're upgrading, lower quality runes to higher quality runes, you're gambling. You can cut your losses like I did with that resist rune, or you can keep pushing Lady Luck and see what comes out of it. In the case of people who don't have an excess of runes, take what you can get. Take what will do the best for your mons at the time. I'm not saying like, say you have a Lucian with +5 attack on one of his runes. Like look at this one. This is not the most fantastic rune. Like, I can't remember what this one started as. But it's got speed, it's got crit damage, accuracy is meh, whatever, but it helps me land my non-heal debuff. But it's got that flat HP, so I'm not too thrilled about this one, but it's one of the better, or it's one of the 6-star attack runes that I have. So be willing to gamble. If you think it's going to be better than, and will do your character some good, fine, go ahead, go for it. But on the other hand, if you're now like me trying to farm the better runes, hitting those substats, finding the correct substats is important. And, I gamble a lot with runes, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, I hope that's informative for you, and I'll see you again in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe.